What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at 4 guns that I bought in 2022 that were a pretty big disappointment. Now, a couple of these might be pretty controversial because there's people that really like a few of these guns, but for me, they were a little disappointing. Now, they all have different reasons on why they were disappointing, and one of them was my fault. I have to take full credit for that, but I'm still disappointed in the one I bought. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with number 4, and we're going to go from least disappointing to most disappointing. And number 4 is the SIG 226 Legion. Now you're going to say, how can a SIG 226 Legion be disappointing? This gun is beautiful. It is amazing. The trigger is phenomenal because I have the single action version, which is a great gun with a great trigger. Why is this disappointing? Well, in my great philosophy at the time that I bought this, I was thinking, hey, this gun is too heavy to put an optic on. Yep, that's what I was thinking. And then I got it and I was like, I wish I'd have bought the one that was optic ready. Because I put optics on everything. And I really, really like this pistol. It's just missing one thing right here that's a big cutout where I can put an optic. And tragically, I will either, trade this one in or get rid of it and buy the one that is optics ready, which I should have done to begin with. I actually called SIG and asked them if I could send this back and pay to have them optics cut this, and they said they don't do that. My only fear about sending this to someone else is they won't be able to match the color on the slide, or the frame, rather word. So my slide and frame would be 2 different colors. And with a Legion gun, I would kind of like it all to match because I paid a lot of money for this. And, Legion has this greenish, grayish color. They used to be more gray, but this one's more of a greenish gray, as you can kind of see in the light there. So I kind of want that to match like it does now. And I'm afraid if I send it off to someone else and have it optics cut when they go to re-Cerakote the slide, that it will not match, and then I won't like that, and I'll wind up trading it for one that's optics ready anyway, so I might as well save myself the money and just trade this one in. And I actually seen one the other day, I think it was like $1,200 and some without an optic, because I don't want an optic, because I don't want the SIG Romeo on it. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'd like to probably put like an R&Mar or a Hollison on it. But this is the one that was my fault. I'm still disappointed because I bought the wrong one. Not the gun's fault. The gun is phenomenal. Strictly my fault for being an idiot. Okay, number 3. And number 3 is kind of difficult, but I am going to put this one above number 2 because I wound up liking this gun a little bit. So I really like number 2, but there's something about number 2 that I really, really don't like. But number 3 is the Springfield Hellcat Pro. This is probably going to be the controversial one because I don't like this gun. All these guns have been checked. You can see right here, here's one thing I don't like about it. There's a lot of take up, which is fine. Now, I have the Apex trigger in this, helped it out tremendously. If you have one of these, I recommend it. This trigger is pretty nice. But big take up, break, watch this reset. And this trigger actually helps with the reset. Watch this, going. There it was. The reset is forever for me because I shoot, some staccatos and Wilsons, but I also shoot a lot of P365s, and the P365 trigger is light years away ahead of the Springfield, and that's what I'm comparing it to. A lot of people's going to say, hey, staccato and Wilson, is it fair? And you're right, but even like my X macro trigger, which is exactly what this gun goes up against because they're semi-close to the same size. The macro has, 17 round. This one has 15. And I was just disappointed. The blockiness of this gun feels weird in my hand. I'm not a big fan of U-notch sights. These are better than most, but I prefer squared off sights. and it's pretty snappy. It feels snappier to me than like my 365 XL. Not that I can't handle the recoil, but the question is, if you can have lighter recoil to have quicker follow-up shots, why would you not do it? Why would you sacrifice speed when you don't have to? And in my opinion, this gun just does not feel great in my hand. There are things I like about it. It is very pointable. When I throw it up, the sights are right there. The trigger has improved with this apex. It's really the reset I don't like about it, and the gun is crazy smooth. This has got to be the smoothest polymer gun I've ever seen. And maybe mine is just a one-off, but it is stupid smooth. I just don't like the reset and a couple other things, but I thought I was going to like this when I first picked it up, and then I was kind of disappointed in it after I got out and shot it. But that's number 3, pretty high on the list, behind the gun that was my fault. All right, number 2, I really like this gun. I really did, but there's one thing about it that seems so cheap to me that made me go out and buy another gun to replace this. I literally bought this gun, fixed it the way I wanted it. There was something so cheap about it that I went out and bought another gun that was like $800 and some without an optic, just to replace this one. And what is it? It is the Savage, and I'll have to look at this. Let me find it. The Savage Mark II. I thought there was a longer name than this, but it's Mark II. But it's a bolt action 22, and it does not come with this stock. This stock is a Boyd stock. That's what I mean. I decked this thing out. The stock on it was super cheap. I put a Vortex optic on it. And you can see it has a threaded barrel. It also has flutes in the barrel. I mean, this thing looks amazing. It looks the part. I put a picture of this with my suppressor on it on Instagram, and everybody wanted to know what the sniper rifle was. I mean, it literally looks the part. It feels good. Everything about it is great. So let me show you what sucks. These magazines are the cheapest magazines I have ever seen in my life. So the one that comes with it is a 5-round magazine. And I put 5 rounds in it, and I tried to stick it in the gun, and I guess I sprang the feed lips because it didn't want to go up in there right, and I didn't have the bolt open. I was just checking. I think I actually have a video up on my other channel about this. And I put all my gun content on the other channel until I just started doing all this. It was just easier to keep it over here. But when I took it out, every round in it fell out on the ground. Every single one. Now, these are 10 rounders. I ordered 10 rounders. You can get 5 rounders and 10 rounders. But these are the cheapest magazines ever. I hated them. And I hated the magazines so bad that I went out and bought a Christensen Arms bolt action 22 threaded so that I could run my suppressor on it with CCI quiet ammo, and you basically just hear the firing pin drop. But I went out and bought another one just because of the magazines. Now, if you don't know, the Christensen Arms actually uses Ruger 10-22 magazines, which are probably the best 22 magazines you can get. A lot of companies use those. But I actually went out and replaced this. I put a better optic on that one as well because it was a more expensive rifle. Just the rifle itself was probably at least as much, if not a little more, than I have in this entire rifle right here. But also, just the magazine release. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, it's just a little bitty piece of spring steel. It's cheap. I get it. This is a cheap rifle. But I would have paid a little more to get better quality magazines. This thing sits on the shelf. It never gets shot, and it probably never will, to tell you the truth about it. But I like looking at it. It's a good looking rifle. But this was a deal breaker after I got out and started using them. They were cheap. And actually, I ordered a 10 rounder, and one of them didn't even work, and they had to send me another one. I don't know. It was horrible. I didn't like it, so I replaced it. And the Christian Arms, I've not had to replace the stock. I do like the stock on this one a little bit better. It's more solid, and I like the look of it better than the Christian stock, but they're really close. But the Christensen has a polymer stock, where this one's a wood stock. This one just feels more solid. All right, we're number one. This is the most disappointing gun that I bought in 2022. What is it? The Glock 44. The 22 Glock, not the 22. It's actually a 22 caliber. So I bought this as like a training tool for my wife and daughter. And you can actually put, like, I have real sights on this. I have Spartan, Ameriglo Spartan sights on this. So it'll take, you know, aftermarket triggers, whatever you want to put on it, it'll take it. I mean, it has a Glock 19 lower on it, essentially. I don't know if it's identical. I don't know if it's the same material. If it is, I'd almost swap it out for one of my other Glocks. But it's horrible. It's horrible. You expect Glock to run anything. Glock perfection. Great guns. Amazing. Awesome guns. Glock 19s will run the crappiest thing you can find. If you can find just rusted out crap on the battlefield ground, it'll probably run it. This, not so much. Not so much. You cannot run bulk ammo in this, or at least in mine. And I've seen a lot of comments on the internet, so I know a lot of you are the same way. But you cannot run bulk ammo in this. It may shoot one or two, and then it'll jam, and then it'll jam, and then it'll jam. Now, I did shoot some older stuff through it that wasn't bulk, and that stuff was pretty hot, and it run fine. CCIs seem to run pretty good. Had a couple malfunctions, but nothing major. But we all know we buy 22s most of the time just to shoot cheap ammo. I mean, that's what a 22 is. It's a cheap gun for cheap ammo. Maybe not all of them. There are people that buy like bulk Hortsons that, you know, shoot just CCIs in them only. But when you buy a Glock 22, you expect it to just eat anything. And that wasn't the case. This gun was it was so disappointing that I think on my other channel, I made a video just to see what ammo it would run. And it ate some of the old stuff and like some of the CCI, but anything bulk, didn't matter really what brand it was, it didn't like it. And I don't like guns. I can't shoot the ammo I want to shoot through them. And that's just the way I am. And that's why this Glock 44 was the most disappointing gun that I bought in 2022. Now again, one of them was my fault. The other three I actually had complaints about. So what do you think about my list? Again, don't knock the 226. Knock me for being too stupid to just go ahead and buy the optics ready. Because even if I didn't want to run optic on it, I could just lift the plate on it. At least I had the option. Not smart on my behalf. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section, have you bought anything this year, you know, gun related, that was just a big disappointment? Because 3 of these were pretty big disappointments. Anyway, guys, hope you liked the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help. Again, love you guys. We'll see you next time.